Welcome back. It's time to make delicious sourdough naan.
It's so light and fluffy. Hi, this is Mother Zen Chef. I'm making garlic and onion naan. And as I realized by looking at my dough, it is active, but it's not as active as I like. And I also would like to add some yogurt. And actually, you know, this is really good. It's because it's been pulled and stretched 3 times already. But now I have to add a few things and let it sit for like 3/4 an hour so it rise. And then when it rises, I can shape them into the naan. Meantime, I'll be preparing, you know, some spinach paneer to go with this naan. And any curry dish or any even saucy Chinese dish, this is perfect. Because in China, they have something called salbing, which is very similar to naan. And I'm positive they use sourdough there. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you'll always get my latest recipes. So I decided going to add a little bit more, another 1/2 cup of my sourdough starter. And now I'm going to put 1/2 cup of whole milk Greek yogurt. I love Greek yogurt because it's almost like sour cream. It does not have a lot of water, which is wonderful. And now I have another 1/2 cup of flour that I want to add because, as you notice, it's a very wet dough. It would be impossible for me to shape it, so I have to add some more flour. You kind of have to learn. Sourdough is like your teacher, and it's live. It's been very wet here, so there's a lot of moisture that affect my sourdough. So I looked at it, I said, oh, this is not very strong today. And you just have to see it yourself. Okay, the minute you start cultivating your sourdough, you will have this awareness. And since that's not very strong and we'd like to eat supper tonight, so I have a teaspoon of baking powder and 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. Because that will help leaven it so I don't have to wait for another night. This particular sourdough already went through a night. But since the starter wasn't that strong, so I have to sort of become aware. And I'm not a purist, and I don't want to throw away my food, so I just add a teaspoon of baking powder and a 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. You know, those are always my friends. Every time I'm in a pinch, I can get help. And so here I am. I'm going to put some of this flour in here, and then I'm going to put this acting ingredients here, and you'll see soon they will come together just because. Yogurt is also wonderful. What yogurt do is give your dough much more flavor, protein, and kind of softening the dough. Especially I use a lot of whole wheat, so it's 50% whole wheat and 50% white. It always gets a little bit hard. And you can already see it's no longer soupy. Like just a minute ago wasn't looking like this. Okay, so this is what you have to learn from your own sourdough, that how flexible it is. And now I actually created a much bigger recipe by adding that 1/2 cup of flour. So this would make more than 8 naan. So I probably had to put away half of the dough in the refrigerator. And the most beautiful thing about the naan or a pizza kind of dough is that the next day you can make an English muffin. You can make some pizza. It could be in your refrigerator for 3 or 4 days, and it only gets better as it sits because the sourdough never stop working. They are hard-working. I would call it ingredient. No other ingredient in my refrigerator is working harder to improve. You know, most of them, I mean, more like they're hanging at the edge and they get worse. But sourdough, as you learn, if I put this away, a day or 2 later, it becomes, because the whole grain actually starts absorbing more of the water. So the ingredients actually become more solid. Here I am I'm going to let it sit and let it rise. And you can see that it's only less than half of this bowl. But since I did put in some active ingredient, including the yogurt, and so by the time I come back in about 45 minutes, it should have gotten up there. Then I would clean up my counter and start shaping them to naan. And we're ready to eat because naan only takes about 15 minutes to cook. So it's, if you did all your hard work, you'll be rewarded. And it'll be yummy because all this microbial ingredients are working. It's a live thing. It's just constantly working. I just discovered a new way to handle this very wet sourdough, I would call it bread. It's a naan because it's very hard to push them around and then put them in a pan that are still, falls apart kind of. So I discovered I had to shape it into a ball and then do the pushing around in my cast iron pan. So this is what I do. I brush a little bit of butter. You can tell the pan is very hot. That's why it's making all that noise. And just one layer, very thin layer of butter. And now I'm going to take this ball, a very wet ball, and I put it right in here. And I'm going to wet my fingers with water so I can push it. I can push it and push it and push it. And so this is what you have to do if you are making a naan. So this is what I'm doing. And now I don't have to worry about it. It's already there. I'm doing another one.
So you're shaping the naan right in the
Yeah,
pan.
you can shape it any way you like. You shape it into a circle, you shape it into an oblong. Since most naan that you eat in the Indian restaurants are kind of oblong, so I'm making it oblong. So then, just before I'm going to cover the pan, I'm going to brush a little bit of butter on them, or just sprinkle a little bit of butter. And there's another discovery that I just did that today. I make sure that I can do this, all right? But then I can do some more pinching, okay? But that makes it nicer in terms of the texture of the bread. Because we're not doing a flat bread, we're doing a naan, which is a irregular shape. And now you can tell they are really happy now, okay? I'm gonna cover this up for about 3 minutes. Oh, here they are, they're ready to be flipped over. Oh my God. All right. Just a little bit of brush of butter before I turn them over. I think I set it on 3 minutes or something. The other side, looking beautiful, very crispy looking. All right. Now to turn the flame even lower because the other side would take 2 minutes. I think the naan is ready. Wow, they look really good. Ooh, see? It's uncrispy, very crispy on one side, but just light on the other side. It's up to you. Some people probably want to be more toasty, but this way, if you don't eat it tonight, tomorrow you can make it more of a toast. And we have some really beautiful fresh chopped garlic. So just put them on. That's in a little bit of olive oil. All right, there.
This incredible texture that you can only get from letting the sourdough ferment. It's so light and fluffy. There's so much air in there. And normally, it just tastes so professional even though it's made in a cast iron pan, not in a tandoori oven.
Do you know someone who loves to cook? Share this video with them and make sure to subscribe. Thank you.